care of your health. I get how people is. Somebody, I need this, that, and the third. Screw all that. You need to get your health together just because you need to get your health together. We done talked about a bunch of stuff, but I forgot to get it sexy, get it sexy. So Sexyy Red has had a week of her own where she done kind of went viral multiple times. Of course, the most recent one was she was performing at the Roots picnic and she had the Make America. Of course, it don't say Make America Great, but you know the font. It's the red hat. It's that font that they use on the Make America Great hats. But her say, Make America Sexy again. And people was upset about it. I don't know how people ain't. She done been bringing it.
I've seen that hat
a million times. It was at Rolling Loud. The first time I ever seen her perform and had the hat, it was at Rolling Loud.
What we just watched recently, I thought. Was it Dreamville? Did she perform?
You might be right.
Yeah, I think it was Dream. And she had the hat. She had the hat on stage.
But
people in the crowd with the hat on.
Yeah, but the difference between, and if we keeping it a buck, we talking about crowds. The Roots picnic crowd is more of like the older blacks. Rolling Loud, nobody don't care. Dreamville Fest, people are a little bit more younger. They're a little bit more freely. They don't really care. But that Roots picnic, that's like your 33 and over. Ain't nobody in the Roots picnic under 30 something. That's an old head function. Like that's the older.
I ain't going. It's
nigga. Wow, look at the lineup.
I still think it's still some. It's probably more older crowd, but I still think it's still young people in.
That's what I'm saying. If it's young people there, it's because they're there with older people. It's not a group of 20-year-olds going to the Roots picnic by themselves. It's old, it's young. It may be younger people there, but I'm not saying they're chaperone, but they're accompanied by a group of people in their 30s.
The only reason why, because it's multiple different stages. So if you saying it's like more of an older crowd, they got to sit here and move from different stages to see performances, and everybody not performing.
I get that, but probably really Sexyy Red this year might be like one of the young. Like every year they got like a young person there to kind of like. I think even gonna perform, but it's still like a younger person that may draw a little, help you draw maybe 30 on the nose or some 27, 28s, but 21. The people who go to Rolling Loud or who are already seen Sexyy Red and then think twice about that Make America Great hat or Make America Sexy hat, they ain't thinking twice about it.
Yeah, and we said it when they first announced it. And we was like, "Damn, how Sexyy Red get on there?"
That's my point. And then again, of course, Sexyy Red did perform at Summer Jam. We'll get into Summer Jam and Method Man's comments on Summer Jam in 2 seconds. But also, Sexyy Red. She came out she was at WWE. She presented a new belt that they coming out with. I forgot the name of whatever the belt was. And the crowd went crazy. Of course, Sexyy Red gonna do what she do. She shaked her butt. And I did see a woman, like sometimes Twitter do be too woke. And I did see, because it was a video of her and Shawn Michaels. And the only reason, and I'm sure I don't know how many of y'all actually follow Sexyy Red or even pay attention to the videos, but she's been in the car making it seem like she was going to redo the Heartbreak Kid. Because it's been a couple times she's been in the car and she been playing the joint and singing along with it. So I ain't gonna lie. I thought she was gonna do this. I thought on that new project she was gonna have it, but she haven't. But of course, Shawn Michaels seen it, or somebody probably sent it his way and like, oh, Sexyy Red is popular black girl, whatever the case may be, blah, blah, blah. You should probably link up with her. And I think realistically, that's how she even got tied into coming to the WWE, because she literally at least
he runs that part. The next.
Oh yeah, so that's my point. So I'm sure he'd have seen it. She done like 3 or 4 different videos, her in the car playing the Heartbreak Kid. So if people don't know what the Heartbreak Kid is, of course, that's Shawn Michaels' theme music that he had. I'm sure if you of a certain age, you remember that version of Shawn Michaels. That was even before DX with Shawn Michaels.
I'm hot.
Yeah. So to me, I ain't gonna lie. If she can flip it the right way, nigga, that's a hit. Like that the way, even just like you saying, like this, it would be. You just got to do it the right way. I feel like you almost got to turn it into a drill beat. I don't necessarily know if Sexyy Red can ride a drill beat, but I kind of can see that. And just real quick, because I forgot to mention this when we was talking about Glorilla. Y'all remember how y'all kind of try to act like Ice Spice was going to bypass Glorilla? Y'all want to revisit that conversation?
Did anybody?
Niggas was thinking that for a second. Because you got them, Glorilla and Sexyy Red they both kind of had their break. I mean, not Sexyy Red, Glorilla and
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice had their breakout moment at the same exact time. Munch and F nigga and whatever F and F were kind of like popped off at the same time.
Okay.
And they was kind of like going like head to head for a second. And it don't look, even when y'all was trying to compare Ice Spice to, let's be clear. And I think sometimes when people, I hate when y'all run and go look at the Spotify numbers. Even if Ice Spice's Spotify listeners is way higher than Lotto, y'all don't want to make that comparison for real neither. It's been quiet for Ice Spice. She been putting out music and all of them shit's been duds. Like if she ain't had that back and forth with Lotto, it probably would have been even quieter for her, even faster than what it already is. But like right now, and today, like in whatever today, what's today's date? June 3rd. When y'all hit this, it'll be June 4th. Yeah, bro, it's quiet for Sexy. I mean, not Sexy Red, but for Ice Spice.
And to go back to that conversation we had last week about the whole sex appeal and all that stuff. To be honest with you, I don't see how you can even go to a rap show or anything without seeing them twerk or want. You know what I'm saying? Like even watching Meg and them perform and all that, it's like. You had to. You had to do it. I don't feel like I couldn't just see you just stand there just rapping yo yo yo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you feel like is that because of the type of music they make? I'm sure for the type of music they make, it wouldn't make no sense for them just to stand still and try to like.
You absolutely. But that's what I'm just. But seeing how that crowd respond and how everybody was just dancing and all that. Why would I not do it?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that part, but I think just even when we were talking about sometimes sex appeal don't necessarily mean you have to be half naked. Because look at Lotto, like if you look at it like,
you don't have to be half naked, but even still, what they're rapping and because
the way they perform is, I'm with you on that one. I don't think you can. That's almost just like sitting here saying, if I tied in the go-go, that's like sitting here saying I'm performing a disco make you chop song or a beat your feet song and don't have somebody on stage beating their feet. It's kind of like it's almost like. It's like that don't even make sense. Like you got to show the crowd how to get into it. And again, this is just me speaking from experiences. Even at that time, I was 100 times bigger than the size that I am right now, getting on stage and just chopping and dancing and jumping in the crowd. But you got to set the tone for that. You have somebody on that stage got to set the tone for how you want the crowd to respond to what you performing. So you can't sit here and be like, I want everybody in the crowd to turn up, but ain't nobody on the stage turning up. That's why some rappers back in the day used to be just like the 50 dudes on the stage is going to kind of be like my amp and my background to kind of like give the stage a little bit more litness to it. So I'm not mad at the girls for doing it, but when we talk about sex appeal, the shit that Coi Leray do is cringy and corny, and it's kind of like, bro, do you have to do this? When I'm looking at somebody like Lotto, she got on some red monkey jeans and a goddamn Baby Nape hoodie, and I'm like, girl, I'd wear your ass out through them big ass jeans. And I look at Coi Leray half naked and be like, bro, put your clothes on. That's the difference. Like you can have sex appeal and still be fully dressed. I literally seen Lotto, when she went to that Angel Reese game, she had a Baby Nape hoodie on and some red monkey jeans or some, as a matter of fact, it might have been a Diesel jeans. When she just came out and performed with Megan and Glow, she literally had on some chrome hot jeans and a goddamn tank top, nigga, and she with a goddamn scarf around like she was, again, old Dipset. Like, bro, I had to look way more sexier to me than looking at Coi Leray half naked, putting her hand over a private part. Like sex appeal don't got necessarily mean I got to be butterball naked to have sex appeal. If you got to be butt naked to have sex appeal, you don't have sex appeal. It's this girl that top sending me all the time. And I'd be like, bro, why you keep sending this dirty beat to my goddamn DM? Like, is this your girl? Why you keep sending her, bro? She is dirty. She's disgusting. She looks like trash. Like she be half naked, but she just like even when Bia had that verse and she was saying that Cardi still just looked dirty, which I disagree with, but she a girl. So however they look at girls may be different, but it be some women you looking at them like, bro, she just looked dirty through the phone. You can be half naked and still just give off that energy where it's dirty. So most people probably feel like that about Sexyy Red. So I mean, it is what it is. But again, shout out to Sexyy Red though. Sexyy Red marketing team and hers is on point though. That WWE, that ain't nothing to sneeze at. That ain't nothing slight. That's a huge, especially for somebody who don't have like most people still trying to figure out why people even like her. If that's still your thoughts on Sexyy Red and she at that WWE, you got to shout out to her team for marketing and putting her in the right place and her playing into that character. Because wrestling ain't nothing but a character. When you talk about characters, you talk about personalities, that's what, as a wrestler, that's what's going to make or break you.
And at the end of the day, what we here to do, entertain.
Yeah, that's a fact. So yeah, shout out to Sexyy Red. We can get into Summer Jam. So of course I told y'all when I kind of was talking about the JT situation, I was saying that you can get anybody in New York and you can see that. So of course over the weekend it was Hot 97 Summer Jam. I think we kind of talked about it last week when it was the clip where it was and it was so crazy that it went viral on social media. It went viral on the shade. It went viral on the shade room, and of course, it was a clip of. And I'm sure most of y'all seen it. It was Peter. I talked about it last week, but of course, y'all know the sound was messed up. So it was Rosenberg. He was on Hot Night. He was on the radio, and it was tied into the Chef G thing. And of course, they went out. Donald Trump brought them out. I told y'all he was hating on Charlemagne a couple days before that. He ended up hating on Chef G and them. So like I said, long story short, Hot 97 had this Summer Jam. Chef G and them end up not performing. So that didn't happen. So realistically, of course, people were still trolling Rosenberg. And even the other day on Friday, I was listening to him on the radio and it just sounded like, bro, he was sad. I'm not gonna lie. Them shade room comments, they smoked him out. Because sometimes like let's be real, Hot 97 don't get picked. You don't see too many, especially Ebro in the morning or Hot 97 conversations, period, don't get picked up and put on the shade room. So you get to speak in your voice, so your audience who listen to you, they kind of know your personality, so they may kind of give you bail on certain topics or the way you talk about certain things. But when you get picked up on the shade room or the neighborhood talk, or this audience 9 times out of 10 don't listen to you. Most of them listen to the Breakfast Club, so that's why their dialogue with the Breakfast Club topics be a little bit different from if you just some rando. And to them, Hot 97 is just some rando. So they smoked them. Like I talked about it last week. Like people was in the comments was like, bro, I hate white people speaking on black culture like what's best for us. And that was his stance when he was talking about how he got mad with Chef G and them for wanting to vote. So then, like I said, long reason why I'm tying all that in is Method Man and Redman performed their Hot 97 Summer Jam. And let me just run down the lineup a little bit just to kind of give you a feel before I tell you what Redman said. It was Redman, Method Man. It was Eric B. and was it Eric B? No, it was Big Daddy Kane and it was Rakim, and they was doing a special for Rest in Peace to Mr. C. It was who else? 41. It's a rap group in New York. It's they drill rappers. The name of the group is 41. It was the Cash Cobain dude that we was talking about last week. And who else was on there? What was other young people on there? Doja Cat was on there. Gunna performed on there. Sexyy Red performed on there.
Who was the headline?
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat was the headline.
Yeah, Doja Cat was the headline. I think it was Doja Cat. It was Gunna. Then might have been Sexyy Red, or it might have been Sexyy Red, then or Gunna, then Sexyy Red. But Doja Cat was the headline, and Doja Cat brought out ASAP Ferg. So that's the kind of just to give you. Oh, and Lola Brooks performed. Who else? I'm sure most of y'all don't even know who Dusty Locane is. He performed. And he brought out Connie Diamonds. And y'all, Connie Diamonds is the one. She got that song Ghetto and Ratchet. And she had Remy Ma on that remix. Remy, oh my God, Remy Ma battled her body that joke. But anyway, so just long story short, that was the lineup. So y'all kind of see.
No business been on that stage, pretty much.
No, they had business, but that shows you kind of like it's like
if it was fine if this was the 50th, we was doing 50th.
No, but no. It just show you how it's like sometimes when we talk about just having a job, it's like Hot 97 is almost just like ESPN. It's kind of like they used to the old shit. You used to like Hot 97. You think about Hot 97. If y'all not really into like the interviewing shit, Funk Master Flex. So you think about Funk Master Flex. He's super old. He's been around for millions of years. You hear every New York rapper or anybody who grew up in New York, they got Funk Master Flex stories about even him listening to Hot 97 and him dropping a million bombs on Otis when he was the one who broke Otis or Niggas in Paris or Live on the Radio. So they got those stories. So he's still there. That's like the Stephen A. or whatever the case may be. But then you got Ebro in the morning. That's still an older show. They talk about, like even when I hear, and I agree with this, when I hear people like in New York and they compare, like the Breakfast Club is just like the more popular show. But if you listen to Ebro and them, it is more of a family-oriented show. Their conversations is more like they are all real friends. Where I'm sure if y'all listen to the Breakfast Club that last couple of years with Angela Yee and her dialogue with Charlamagne, it sound like these two people just work together. They not real friends. Where if you listen to Ebro in the morning, they sound like a family. They sound like they actually go to each other's birthday parties or whatever the case may be. But like I said, long story short, you can still like they're the older people where they still going to pick out, some people that they want to. Like, hey, we can't just because they don't play like they may talk about it because it's the biggest song in New York, that Fisher song, or for sure, however you say it. Like, of course, they're going to play it because they from New York. That's the biggest song in New York. We talked about last week how big Cash Cobain is right now. He literally had like 3 songs on the New Today last Friday. So, of course, he's going to perform. The same thing with the 41 dudes. Like, but with all that still being said, you still want to cater to 2 audiences because it's like, okay, if our Starship song, our show is still the older people in the morning, we got to have some old people perform there because they're giving away tickets every day. Like we talked about that when we talk about when radio stations give away tickets. So, of course, yeah, but having Method Man on there and let's say majority of the crowd, especially if they're out front, if I'm here to see Doja Cat, I don't want to see Method Man, dog. Let's keep it a buck. And I think sometimes people don't be honest with that.
Doja Cat, I don't even think you know Method Man, a song from Method Man in them.
You might just because it's still like they'd have had some iconic moments outside of just their music.
Yeah, they did, but I feel like even in that, if you telling me Doja Cat is the headline, I feel like that audience is definitely not tapped into Method Man in them. If that's what you telling me, that's who the headline is, Doja Cat. I don't see nobody really a Doja Cat fan being even though you might know Method Man from Power, maybe that's it, but not Method Man the rapper or even Redman. If you go
definitely not Redman, but Method Man, I felt like kind of like damn, just because they did, Hulu just did the Wu-Tang series and all that. That's why I thought maybe like
nah, I still don't because if Doja Cat is the headline, it's more of a Doja Cat crowd.
I mean, you might be right. Well, obviously, you got to be right because that's how Method Man felt.
Yeah.
He was like, "Nigga, I'm not performing to something." Yeah. And y'all got to think about it. I'm sure for people, if you listening and you're not from New York or you really just ain't grown, like I'm just like a YouTube nerd, so you kind of just don't know how. Like Summer Jam is like, nigga, that was the Rolling Loud before Rolling Loud. Before all of these festivals, Summer Jam was like the #1 hip hop concert to kick the summer off. So I ain't trying to make it like this is some poop thing, but even of course when festivals start to get big. The last 2 years, they went from doing it. They used to do it at Yankee. I mean, was it MetLife Stadium? Is that? I believe that's where. That's not where the Yankees play. That's where the Mets and the Jets play. I mean, the Jets and the Giants, whatever. So they was doing it at MetLife Stadium. So you talking about from 60,000 people to now they doing it in a smaller venue. Well, I believe that the venue hold maybe like 16,000 now. So that's a huge drop from 60,000 to 16,000. But that's because they were competing with the festivals like the Governor's Ball, or they beating like they do Rolling Loud New York. So it's like. People like, you know, when it comes to spending bread, and that's why I always sit here and tell y'all, like, yeah, so people on social media like to play rich until it's actually time to make life decisions where it's like, hey, do I want to spend money going here? Do I want to spend money going there? So it's like they took a hit. And even for some of the artists, like you couldn't double dip, like you and that's just something like I done shows before. It's like, hey, if you come and perform at Morgan State Homecoming, you can't do no shows 30 days before the homecoming or 30 days after. I'll pay you whatever your price is, and we'll take care of your travel, but you can't do this, that, and the third. And that's how most concerts, like especially promoters doing big festivals, they do that. They make sure you can't do that. And even if you do an after party, you can't do no performance. You can host it, but you can't do no after party. And some of them, you get paid too much, they might not even want you to host a party after. So, like I said, with that being said, Method Man was like, bro, I'm not performing here no more. This ain't my crowd. I don't fit in. We don't fit in with that audience. And I can only imagine because I do agree with you. We saying Doja Cat. I feel like Doja Cat is a little bit more rapper. So I feel like if you like Doja Cat's raps, you may appreciate Method Man and Redman. But if you like that for sure song, for sure, or grippy, like, yeah, I don't want to hear no guy. And they from New York. I don't want to hear no Method Man and Redman if I'm here to sing grippy. That's why people killed J. Cole last week because it's like nigga J. Cole is supposed to be.
Method Man, they always perform at the joint that come here, the 421, the cannabis one.
Yeah, no, listen, what I'm saying.
So I just feel
it's certain venue, but again, when we talked about the Roots Picnic a few minutes ago, it's some joints that's for old heads. It's something like the Essence Fest, like that's for old heads. You know what's gonna be there. I'm not looking for.
They would have been better off at the Roots Picnic than being at
the Summer Jam. But of course, I'm sure, like for most New York people, they still take it as a privilege. Like, oh, I get to come out to Summer Jam because they looking at it like it's still New York City. Like we still New York icons. So you don't never feel like, and me as an icon in New York, I'm ever gonna get the weird response from the audience. I get it. Like I'm sure that was a life-changing moment for them. Like, damn, we are like a fish out of water. Like they just asked us to come and perform in Tennessee or something. So I mean, like I said, that was just something over the weekend. That was sort of real quick. Oh, yeah, we can get into Jason Kelce. Of course, I mean, people who don't know who Jason Kelce is, he is the brother of Travis Kelce. He is the one with the bigger personality on their podcast. He is absolutely a white man's white man. Whatever you feel, close your eyes and picture a big country. I don't even know if they're from the country, but close your eyes and just picture a big country white man. That's Jason Kelce. And when I tell you this comment that he had in the conversation he started up about taking showers and parts and spots of your body that don't need to be washed, you gonna understand whatever your stereotypes is for white people, how they think the word thug means something to us. This is how we think white people take showers. Jason Kelce said, one, you don't need to wash your feet, it's unnecessary and it's overrated. And he said you only need to wash your hot spots. And the hot spots is your armpits and your private parts. Everything else, you can just let the water rinse on it. I thought takes. Is it important? Is it something that's like a dying need emergency to wash your other body parts, or do you disagree? The
that's
feet, I'm not gonna.
That's wild for him to say his feet and him being an athlete, nigga. What? I'm pretty sure your feet was sweaty and it stink. And you saying you don't need to wash them? You tripping?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And that's crazy because they put the group of black men off the plane because they said they was stinking.
But can I have an unpopular opinion take on that one?
They look like they stink.
I swear to God they do. And it's not. No, listen to what I'm telling y'all. Y'all got to listen to what I'm saying. I'm for the rest of the year. We got to keep it a buck when we see certain shit though. We cannot lie to each other. We can lie to everybody else, and I get it under the comments. Everybody want to be fake woke and want to be upset about it though. You seen that? You seen them niggas who got kicked off that plane, and you looked at it and was like, oh, these niggas do look like they stink.
Chill, Mikey, chill, bro.
But it was more. It was like maybe 10 or 11. You didn't see all.
I ain't see all of them, but the niggas we seen, can we keep it a buck? They look like they stink, dog. Y'all, and we all know what black people look like they stink. We don't gotta give, because I'm sure that's what I'm telling y'all. I know some white people that's probably listening right now. I don't know if they made it this far in the episode, but they made it, so I don't want to give them the extra shit to use for stereotypes. But us as black people, we know what type of black people. When we looked at that video and you seen them, you cannot tell me that you saw them and then be like, I can believe them niggas stink too. Like, come on, dog. That's why I say sometimes I've listened to them. I knew for a fact people was gonna be fake outrage in the comments because y'all lying to yourself. It's no way in hell that you seen that video and you didn't believe that them niggas stunk. Like, come on, dog. Let's keep it a buck. Like, no, they look like they stink, dog.
They did, but like I said, that was only 3 of them or 2 of them or whatever. When it was a group of them, so you put like 10 of them off.
I mean, I don't know because I don't even know what the other 10 look like. If them 3 look like that, I don't know where that flight was coming from or where they was going to. But guess what? Even when we talk about stereotypes, if you look at Travis Kelce and you look at Jason Kelce and I ask you which one of them niggas look like they probably don't wash their feet, you're gonna look at Jason Kelce and be like, it's probably this is the bigger brother with the stupid ass mustache. He look like he don't wash his feet.
But you know the crazy thing about it? My first, when I seen that, what's name, and not even seeing them, I thought they talking about they smelled like weed. But like you said, but then when I seen them, I was like, oh, these niggas the funk. Like,
oh no, for sure. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't no.
Damn.
It definitely wasn't no goddamn weed. You if you seen that, you thought they was something about because it was.
Like I said, until they came on the screen, I was like, oh, never mind.
Just what's another conversation? Yeah, but real quick, just because before we get into the next topic, Sean Kingston, the pictures of him and his mom going viral, just their mugshots look crazy, and I think Sean Kingston bond now. He got took into Florida for some charges, and I believe they was up to like $1.5 million in fraud. Damn. I don't know what type of finesse. And Sean King was definitely out here not thinking about making no goddamn music. Sean King was definitely out here trying to run up a different type of check. I don't have no sympathy. I realize I'm not gonna hold y'all to some things with certain things like trying to like get it how you live. I don't respect scammers. I don't respect because like it was so crazy. Just a random real life conversation. Top hit me was like, man, I know this dude with the gas, the gas card. And it's something. One thing I'm talking about, even in my diehard into the streets, everything was illegal. I never fuck with the gas card people because I know for a fact you fucking somebody else's credit up. You messing up somebody else's bank card. You messing up something. I can't get down with it. I can't support. I don't care how. And gas prices is high as hell. I'm not messing with the gas card though. I can't. Just that's like my principles and morals be with certain things. I just can't rock with. I'm cool. Like I don't care how high gas is. And I'm sure most of y'all hearing my voice, you probably like shit. I could use a goddamn gas man real quick because the highest price. I'm not doing it dog. So it just be certain things like when I see these stories with Sean Kingston, bro, I don't got no remorse and I don't feel sorry for scammers.
But if when he said the fraud thing, it's just like I beat the system. I found a way to finesse my numbers. Or you saying fraud like?
Oh no, I don't know what his fraud is like. It seemed like just say
like is it one of like those Donald Trump like, well, you took money from this situation and didn't pay it back.
I'm sure Sean Kingston ain't smart as Donald Trump. No shade to Sean Kingston, but his jump for it's $1 million in fraud. I don't know what it is, but nigga, that's a lot. So you was doing something that was more than probably just finessing or playing around with some numbers. I'm gonna let that load.